Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am working in my 2022 album, and that includes these two photos where we were hanging out on the porch. Our neighbor brought us a bottle of wine, and I decided that I was going to do a semi-monochromatic layout where I'm just doing greens and kind of beiges and browns. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I am starting out with this khaki colored cardstock, and it has this printed design on it. And this is from a Hobby Lobby pack that I got on clearance before I left Hobby Lobby. I went through the stash. I literally went through my stash, guys. I went through a couple paper stacks, picked out some green and brownish papers. I went through some die cuts. I went through my borders. I went through some stickers. Anything that kind of screamed at me, hey, this works with the color scheme, I just went ahead and pulled it. I also pulled some of those adhesive backed brads that they like to call brads that aren't really brads because it had some of the colors. I did get up in the middle of the layout and add some brown enamel dots in. But yeah, I went ahead and created this horizontal border down here with two different humper borders, and then also this kind of die cut rope thing. I cut down this green paper. I cut it down a little bit too much. I wasn't really thinking about what I was doing. I was just cutting. And that normally works out for me, you know, most of the time I can finagle it and figure it out and make it work. And I did figure it out and make it work here. My original intention was to kind of have this bit of decoration and title and everything in the middle underneath of the two photos, and have some decoration in the middle above the two photos as well. So it would look kind of like this big T on the page. We talk about like making an L on the page sometimes, so I was going to make a big old T. But duh, Sandy didn't pay attention to how much she was trimming that green piece of paper down. So I had to shift it up, and that left a gap between that green paper and my horizontal lines. And that wasn't going to work for me, right? I was like, that is not going to work. I got to figure out a way to camouflage that, right? So that's what I'm doing. I brought in this piece of paper. I think it's actually a 3x4 card. I trimmed down to kind of go with this. And I'm just kind of lining these things up and seeing what they look like over top of each other. And I figure that that will be something good to kind of base where my title is going to be. Maybe my journaling, like I haven't exactly figured that out yet of what that's going to look like. But I built the base of it, and I'm happy with that. And I know some stuff is going to be piled on top of that, right? So I've got that adhered down, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got this khaki graph paper that needs to go in here as well, right? Like this is this kind of color scheme that I've got. Ooh, I got this color scheme. Okay, I've got it. I'm trying to honor the color scheme, you guys. With the creaminess, the browns, the greens, like it's feeling very naturey, I guess. And I mean, we're sitting on the front porch, so it works. We were actually in California here in 2022. And the reason why there's like an up close of this bottle of wine is because we were sitting on the front porch, and we didn't usually sit on the front porch. We usually sat in the back porch. But I don't know. We sat on the front porch this time. Oh, I think it's because I bought these chairs at Target. I worked at Target at the time, so, you know, discount, hello. But anyway, we were chilling out on the front porch. I was enjoying a glass of wine, and our neighbor to the side of us was like, hey, you drink wine? And I'm like, held up my glass. I was like, I sure do. And he was like, okay, cool. I'll be right back. And he came over and he gave us this bottle, and he was a winemaker And I had no idea, right? And he was really excited to give me this wine and have me try this wine. And it's a really good bottle of wine, really tasty. So I appreciated it a whole lot. And it was funny because we never saw him again after that. We even like sat out on the front porch. We never saw him. We just never, I guess we were never outside at the same time. You know, I wanted to let him know how awesome it was, and he kind of disappeared. And we were like, is he still there? We saw his family. That's the thing, right? You see the kid, you see the wife, and you're like, the husband hasn't been there in a hot minute. And you're like, oh, what's going on? So anyway, that's neither here nor there. I am going to build up a cluster over here. So again, I have taken this cluster and it's not going to be exactly in the center of the photos. I am scooching it just slightly off to the right-hand side. That way I have like this big old title cluster down here on the bottom that I really don't focus on it because I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it. So I focus more on this littler cluster up here at the top. And basically, I am just layering things up, trying to figure out what looks good where, just kind of like nestling the little pieces together. I've pulled out these kind of stamp roll things. This is from 49 in Market. There's also like a ticket roll, stamp roll kind of thing. So I'm using that. And then I'm like, okay, so I've got this thing and I want to make a title, right? Because you might look at this and be like, what in the heck is going on? You're like, there is a big bottle of wine and Chris and Sandy. What is going on here? And, I feel like I need to put some context onto this layout. So I'm going to create the title. I actually pulled out a set of thickers as well for this title. But while I was flipping through my 12 by 12 sticker sheets, I found this sticker sheet that had a wood grain flat sticker on it. And I pulled out the wood grain flat sticker because I thought that would go better with the layout, because the green thickers that I pulled out were a little bit more kind of like a soft bluish mint than the green tones that are here on the layout. Does that make sense? Like it was close. It was close enough. I would have been happy with it if I didn't see these brown letter stickers that I thought would go really great. Right? So that's what I did. I went ahead and grabbed those brown letter stickers because I felt like that was giving more of a punch with the layout as opposed to anything else. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I'm just like, Sandy, you're a dingle sometimes, but it's okay. Let's see. So I am going to add some little bits and bobs, cover up some of that white space, right? Like that's a lot of white space on that title. I could have journaled right there and not covered it up, but you know, I thought about that later. Wasn't something that I was like, oh yeah, this is I was thinking about this. So here I am. Here I am. And I've got those fake brads down. And I was thinking that, wow, wow, that was a big yawn. That, yes, it's giving lift off of the page. There is something bulky on the page, but this kind of canvas element right here that's a paper house element. It is wine corks in the shape of a heart, and I pulled it out because it's obviously the khaki brown color and the green, which the canvas is on, and it was just too high, right? So when I pulled the first layer of foam off the back, I still felt it was too bulky. It didn't feel right on the page. So I just cut it apart and cut it down and used it. And now I'm going to bring in a tiny bit more color up here with this green. It just felt like it needed it. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, something's missing from up here. And I was like, there's a little bit of green missing from up here. So I do figure that out and tuck that in as well. And then I'm like, okay, I am cooking with gas now, right? Like, I am stupid happy about this. It is making life great. I am happy. My layout is happy. I'm feeling great. Do you guys, does that happen to you guys? Like, you're scrapbooking and you're like, yes, I'm liking the way this is turning out. I am happy. Like, it is all good. It is all good. So I think I go off and grab some enamel dots right here. I only did a quick flip through. I wasn't going through every single package over there, but I did a quick flip through, and I found these brown ones before I found green ones. So the brown ones work, right? I've got this brown and green situation going on right here, so it is completely good. So I put in 2 to go along with those fake brads, and I'm feeling like this is pretty awesome. Now that book plate down there, I loved the shape of it. I loved the size of it. Just wasn't too keen on the color. So I grab a Distress Oxide in Bundled Sage, and I'm just going to add this color on top of the khaki colored book plate. And, it makes me happy, right? So once I get that colored and it is the green color, we're going to put it over here where it fits, and it looks so good and it fits so well, and like the shape is great. We're going to put that down, and then I am going to use 2 more of those brown enamel dots to cover up the little holes where normally you would stick a brad through. Now, could I have gotten up and stuck a brad through those? I sure could have, but those little enamel dots worked out great because I had them already elsewhere on the page. So it wasn't like I was introducing a new element. It was something that was already there, and I felt like that just went really good for the continuity of the page. I am going to journal a little bit about how it's on the front porch and how our neighbor brought us a bottle of wine to enjoy. Christopher doesn't drink. And then, yeah, that's going to do it for this layout. I really appreciate all of the well wishes, and to take my back pain seriously. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. I am feeling a ton better today. I was on the floor all day yesterday, 8 hours straight slinging coffee. And I tweaked something, but I'm feeling great today. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.